It's time to reset and get back to basics. That's the goal here. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out an email and I talked about the fact that 2025 thus far for my voiceover business has been pretty terrible. There's a lot of external factors outside of my control that are having a profound impact on my business and my ability to work. And I outlined some of those things in the email. I talked about the fact that a lot of my client base is US based. And a lot of those US based clients right now are very nervous about working with W8 Ben voice actors. So that's created a problem. And it's not an anti-Canada sentiment thing or anything like that. It's just a worry about what is going to happen from a tax standpoint, from a tax treaty standpoint, with all the trade talks, wars, negotiations, whatever you want to call it, but it's made some people nervous about working with W8 Ben employees. And so that has been a major challenge for my business this year, which has caused things to slow down. In Canada, there are obviously economic struggles. They're very well documented. I don't want to go into all the details on all of that. I certainly don't want to make this a political podcast. Um, but all of those challenges are also a factor. And so the reality is that businesses just aren't spending as much money. I think it's pretty safe to say if you look at what is going on in the United States with the economy there right now, we're seeing something very similar. There is an economic slowdown that is happening now, depending on who you talk to. That you'll hear different versions of that story, but I think some of the numbers don't lie. Unemployment is quite high right now. Layoffs seem to be happening on the regular. There's multiple different data points that show that companies are not spending as much advertising or spending as much money on advertising right now. All of these things are factors. And as a voice actor and a coach who works with a lot of voice actors, it's not uncommon for me to do dozens of coaching sessions in a week and have conversations with dozens of voice actors. I just keep hearing the same story over and over and over again. The year started out really strong. Everybody was very optimistic. I said it myself. I saw more auditions from my agent, from my 3 agents in the early part of the year than what I had seen, from my agents probably in the last quarter of 2024, and so I was feeling really good that things were starting to pick up. But then just as quickly as things picked up, they seemed to start to slow down again, and I saw that, and voice actors that I have been talking to have seen that. And I'm talking about voice actors in Canada, voice actors in the United States, voice actors in the UK. It seems to be a pretty consistent story across the board. Naturally, I think we start to worry about AI and think that that is the root of all of the problems. And I am not naive. I do think that AI is a factor in all of this. I don't think it's the number one factor, at least not yet. All indicators from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing is this is more of an economic thing. And that can be really intimidating because, I mean, for me, for as long as I've been doing voiceover, I've lived through a couple of short downturns. I think, a lot of us went through the early part of 2020 and COVID, and we saw things come to a grinding halt there for a spell. I've not gone through a major economic downturn really in my voiceover business. And so this is kind of new territory for me as well. One of the things that I have always prided myself on, and one of the things that is really important to me is keeping it real with you guys. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to come out and tell you that everything is sunshine and rainbows and puppies and unicorns when I don't think that everything is sunshine and rainbows and puppies and unicorns. And so I just tell it like it is. My business is down and it's been a struggle and it's been frustrating. And that's been the story. It's been the story for me. It's been the story for a lot of people. So when I sent that email out a few weeks ago, it really resonated with a lot of people. I actually got way more responses than I had ever expected, more responses than I could actually respond to. And I realized that I was onto something there. I am not the only one that is feeling this. I am not the only one that is questioning. I'm not the only one that is feeling a little bit of anxiety. I'm not the only one that is trying to figure out how to navigate all of this. And so it was nice to know. And I mean, that was part of the purpose of the email, was just to say, hey, look, this is what's happening in my business. And if it's happening in your business as well, I just want you to know that I understand and you are not in this alone. And there's a comfort just in that. there's a comfort just in knowing that you are not in this alone. And so I shared that what I was doing was I was taking some time off. That was it. I was packing my bags and checking out for a little while. And so we spent a week visiting my wife's family in Northern Ontario. We spent a week in the wilderness, basically no cell phone reception, limited access to the internet, just kind of disconnected, no TV, no cable, just hanging out with each other and playing card games and sitting at the beach and playing on the playground. And I read a couple of books and just genuinely just relaxing and unplugging completely, which was amazing. It was very good for my soul. And that's part of what I talked about in that email that I sent as well was, if you're feeling the stress, if you're feeling the pressure, if you're feeling the anxiety and your business is down right now anyway, maybe you just need to get out of your business for a little while. And there's something to be said for that too. At the time that this episode drops, I'm going to be gone again on another week of family vacation. It will be the last week that we take for the summer. But again, it's just about getting out of the studio, giving my mind a chance to quiet, and giving my mind a chance to reset, and recognizing that there's massive value in that. Because if I don't do that, sitting around in my studio stewing all day is not going to help anything either. It's certainly not gonna help with stress or anxiety levels. It's probably just gonna make me come across desperate in my marketing, and I certainly don't wanna do that. So taking some time off has been the solution for me, and it's been working. In the midst of some of this time off, though, I also had another realization, which was I gotta push the reset button. Maybe it's the tech support thing, right? Maybe we gotta unplug our businesses for 30 seconds and then plug them back in again. You know what I'm talking about. I was driving my truck, about a week ago, and all of a sudden, the stereo system went completely wonky in the truck, and it's just a factory stereo system, but all of the sound started coming exclusively out of the front left speaker, and it was terrible, and I tried every setting that I could find on the radio, and it just was not working. And so, because all of our vehicles are basically digital and electronic and software and whatnot now, that's exactly what I did. I pushed the reset button. I went into the entertainment console, pushed the reset button, lost everything, but pushed the reset button. All of a sudden, my truck's working. Speakers are playing the way they're supposed to play. Everything's good again. So, this was what I realized. Take some time off in August to push the reset button. Come back in September with a renewed spirit. Come back in September with a refreshed attitude, ready to hit the ground running. And so out of that came the idea for the 30-day marketing challenge. And I am so excited about this marketing challenge. I've never done anything like this before. And I have to tell you, and I've said this when I've promoted this challenge, this is my marketing challenge to myself. The idea, the concept was me trying to figure out how to challenge myself to get back into a groove after taking some time off over the summer. Summer is tough, right? Traditionally, there's a slowdown period in the summer anyway. Kids are home from school, which means that we don't always have our regular routines and our routine schedule for work. Um, Everybody that we're working with, all of our clients are taking vacation. We're taking vacation. Like everything just gets messed up in the summer. And so trying to come back from that sometimes it takes a minute to get back into the groove again. So that's where I thought I'm going to give myself this 30-day challenge. And that's how I'm going to start to rebuild my marketing momentum and set myself up for a strong fourth quarter. Another lesson that I have learned in my career, which is something that I lean heavily into, is I got to focus on the things that I can control. I have zero control over trade agreements. I have zero control over tax treaties. I have zero control over tariffs. I have zero control over Fed interest rates. Like all of these things are outside of my control. It's really easy for me to sit and spend too much time thinking about those things, but sitting around thinking about them all day does not put them back in my control. So the question is, what is in my control? The actions that I choose to take or not take every single day in my voiceover business. That is what is inside my control. And so I wanted to create a marketing challenge for myself that was full of a series of actions that were fully inside of my control, but nothing that was overwhelming. Because here's something else that I've learned in my business. Sometimes we think that in order for an action to have value, we need to take massive action. Hey, I'm a Tony Robbins guy. I am all about massive action. And there are certainly times when I take massive action, but sometimes you just got to take some baby steps. You got to take some baby steps and build yourself up to it. So 30 days in September, one new challenge each day. Each one of those challenges designed to be something completely achievable within a few minutes. I'm not looking for things that I need to spend hours on. I don't have hours to spend. I'm looking for things that I can execute in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But if I do those individual challenges every day for 30 days, I start to build some momentum. And more importantly, I start to build consistency, because consistency is one of the most important things that we can have. We're really good at fits and starts. We do something for a couple of days and then we lose it again. And then we wonder why nothing's happening. 30 days of consistent action can build a habit. If I can execute, and this is what I'm telling myself, I'm having this conversation with myself when we're up north and I'm sitting in the cabin. If I can come up with a challenge with 30 days of simple, easy tasks that are still effective, that still make an impact. But if I can do those every day for 30 days, I can get myself back in the groove after the summer slowdown. I can get myself back in the groove despite all of those other external circumstances that we just talked about. And I can build some momentum as we start to head towards the fourth quarter. And I genuinely believe that if I can do this thing for 30 days in September, it's going to give me the momentum that I need to keep doing that for 30 days, 31 days, I guess, in October, and carrying on, so on and so forth through November and December. But here's the other thing that I know, and this is something else that I talk about a lot, and that is the value of accountability. If I tell myself I'm going to do a thing, I am counting on myself holding myself accountable to do the thing. And that can work. Some people have the ability to pull that off. And I do, generally. I have the ability to pull that off. But sometimes we need some external accountability. Sometimes we need somebody else to walk the road with us. We need somebody else to pat us on the back. We need somebody else to kick us in the butt. Whatever it is, we need that accountability to make sure that we're doing the thing. So I told you how I sent out this email, told everybody about the struggles that I was having. So many people related to the struggle. So I decided I'm going to take this 30-day marketing challenge and I'm going to put it out there for everyone. Let's see who wants to join. Let's see who wants to participate. And what I found was there are a lot of you who are looking for a lot of the same things that I'm looking for. You're looking to build some momentum. You're looking to get some consistency going. You're looking for a little bit of accountability. You're looking for actionable steps that you can take every single day that don't overwhelm you. Things that you can cross off the list. Slow and steady start to build that momentum. And so I opened up this marketing challenge to anybody who wants to participate. If you are interested in a 30-day challenge and you are willing to commit to a 30-day challenge, I genuinely believe this can make a difference in your voiceover business. If I didn't think that it would make a difference, I wouldn't be doing it for myself right now. I've got so many things going on right now. My schedule is full, but I am making a point of making room for this because I know that it is going to move the needle. Coming back to what I said earlier, I'm focusing on what are the things that I can control. I can control how many people hear my demos. I can control how many leads I put into my pipeline. I can control how I'm keeping up with my CRM. I can control my content strategy and what I'm doing on social media. I can control the connections that I make, the relationships that I build. All of these things are things that are inside of my control. And all of these things are the types of things that I'm putting into this 30-day marketing challenge for myself. So the way that it's going to work, Monday through Friday, there's going to be a single action each day that you have to take, some form of external marketing action. Contact a person, reconnect with somebody, create a piece of content, whatever it's going to be. There's going to be very specific actions to take Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday are going to be more about reflection. Having an opportunity to look at, okay, here are all the things that I did this week. Here's where I did well. Here's where I didn't do so well. Here's where I could do better. And then Sunday, thinking about, okay, now let me prepare for the week ahead. Here's how I'm going to crush the week ahead. And so this is a legit 30-day challenge. 30 days of specific actions. Do you want in on this? Do you want to join a group of voice actors who are looking to kickstart something in their business because maybe we're tired of sitting around and listening to our own excuses? Maybe we're tired of sitting around and blaming what is happening in our business on everybody else and everything else that is outside. Maybe we're just looking for a little bit of accountability. Maybe we need some support, somebody who can cheer us on, somebody who we can share our wins and our struggles and our challenges with. That's all part of this challenge. So the way it works is very simple. Every day in September, I am going to send out a new challenge via email. It is going to give you all the instructions that you need in order to be able to execute that challenge. It will be your responsibility to then do the thing. I have also created an online community where everybody who signs up for the challenge will have the ability to jump into this community and then share. I did it. Here's how it went. I didn't do it. Here's why. I'm trying to do it, but I need a little bit of help. Can somebody help me? I want to be able to share wins. I want to be able to share success stories. I want to be able to share struggles and challenges along the way. I want to be able to have support from within the group. That's what this community is all about. So you've got 30 days of individual challenges sent to you via email and then an online community built to support it. Everybody can commit to 30 days of action. Anybody who is serious about their business and serious about turning things around can commit to 30 days of action. It's $1 a day. I debated back and forth with my wife about this, about whether or not I should do it for free. If I do it for free, more people will join, in theory. However, here's something else I know. We do not value free the same way that we value having skin in the game. How do I know this? I give away a lot of stuff. Every time there is something going on, VO Atlanta, I give away prizes. Mavo, I give away prizes. 12 voiceover gifts of Christmas, I give away prizes. I do random draws in the VOpreneur Facebook group throughout the year. I give away prizes. People reach out to me and ask me, can I get a donation for something that I'm doing? And I give away prizes. And do you know what I consistently see across the board? And I've seen this for a decade. An overwhelming percentage of the people who win those free prizes never even log in to access those free prizes because we don't value free, not the same way. $1 a day is doable. We are in an economic challenging time right now. I know that. I'm hearing that from a lot of voice actors who are feeling it. I wanted something that was completely accessible, and I felt like $1 a day is pretty accessible. But I wanted something that made you feel like you have a little bit of skin in the game. Because if you have no skin in the game whatsoever, it's really easy to just not show up one day. And if you don't show up one day, it becomes easier to not show up a second day. And if you don't show up for 2 days, it becomes even easier to not show up for a third day. But if you've got a little bit of skin in the game, if you have something to lose here, nobody wants to just take $30 and toss it aside. So I felt like that was a number that was attainable for a lot of people, but enough skin in the game that it's going to make you show up and do this thing. You show up and do this thing and you get one new client out of it, and you're going to pay for your entire challenge with a pretty hefty profit. If you are interested in doing this challenge with me, there's still time to sign up. It's going to run from September 1st to the 30th, and I would love to have you on board. Go to VOpreneur.com. Click on the store button. It's right there at the top of the page, the 30-day challenge. Get yourself signed up and then wait for the emails to start on September 1st. There are already conversations that are happening in the community, so you'll get instant access to that community. You'll be able to start having conversations there as well. VOpreneur.com, click on the store button, and you'll see it right there at the top of the page, the 30-day marketing challenge. I'm going to put the direct link in the show notes as well, so you'll be able to find it there. I would love to have you join me in this challenge. Take it right alongside of me. I will take it right alongside you. Let's build some momentum. Let's get past the summer slowdown. Let's set ourselves up for an incredible fourth quarter, and let's turn off all the noise of all of the external factors that are impacting our businesses right now and focus on what we can control. This is not about being naive or being delusional or trying to be an eternal optimist. Are times tough right now in the industry? I think they are. I know there are some people who don't agree with me, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. Do I think it is existential? No. Do I think that a lot of voice actors will give up? Yes. I've seen it before. That means to me that the ones who stick around, the ones who push through, the ones who continue to make contact, the ones who continue to build relationships are the ones who are going to create the opportunities and get the opportunities that are out there now, but they'll also be in the best position to grab all of the opportunities when things start to turn around, and things will turn around. I think history shows us that whenever we go through an economic downturn, we always come out of it on the other side and things will turn around. So I want to be ready for it. If you want to be ready for it with me, head to VOpreneur.com, click on the store button, sign up for the 30-day marketing challenge. And if you don't want to do my challenge, that's cool too. Make one for yourself, but do something. Do something to get yourself out of the funk, past the summer slowdown. Let's make some magic happen in September.